Dun, 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 dun. Oh, damn, we're back. We are back on another episode of the Boomer podcast. Never mind our singing, it's pretty bad. But our sports takes are pretty bad too. But I think it's still better than us singing. It's better than us singing. So we decided to choose a career here. And we are going to be talking about what? European Super League. That is what is the topic for today. It's a very interesting topic. I love it. I freaking love European Super League as much as I love Fiorentina Perez and the entire concept. So today we're going to be talking about why European Super League is going to be the next big thing in Europe and why are we so keen about it. So as you all know, this is the Boomer podcast and this is season 2 of the Boomer podcast. And on this show, we are going to be pretty candid. We are going to be unfiltered and it's going to be short and it's going to be on topics across the world on specific topics especially, and we're going to be chatting about it like two friends do, or three of them, or maybe four of them, or maybe none. So that's how it's going to be. And I've Jen with me. Jen, what do you reckon about the European Super League? I feel at this time Real Madrid have created a competition just so that they can win uh, European trophies once again. And I think they're just bored with UCLs. It's quite clear at this point that no team is going to achieve Real Madrid's feat of 14 trophies. Who knows? Maybe at the end of the season it's going to be 15, and Real Madrid are going to really keep on mounting on that. And they know they're just bored. Let's go to another competition. Perez is like, come on, man. How about we start something new so that we can win and dominate Europe once again?
Yeah, I think Perez is really upset at the fact that Kylian Mbappe stayed at Paris Saint-Germain. Now he wants to make sure that Kylian never wins another trophy and he stops farming Liga. Also, I think they're bored of beating 32 teams. Now they really want to beat 80 teams. That's what it looks
Hmm.
like. And not to forget, Infantino is not going to be happy about it. So it's going to be the battle between Florentino Perez versus I don't even want to say his first name, but Infantino.
Yeah, that's a good name, Infantino. He's a little infant, and that's what I'll call him. He's an infant in this business. That's what Paris will be looking into his eyes and telling. But man, you know about Paris, right? He's a man of his words. Do you remember the Figo incident
Yeah,
way back in 2002 where he got Figo through the back channels? Okay, I'll just tell you the story. It's a very short story. It's a big story, but I'll keep it short because that's what the podcast is all about. Just plugging it right there. And Figo in 2002 decided to get into an agreement with Perez. So Perez did promise all the Madrid fans that if you make me the president, I'll get Figo from Barcelona. Everyone was like, okay, this guy is absolutely bullshitting. That's not going to happen. And then what happens is this guy goes to Figo and says, see, if I become the president, you have to join Real Madrid. And he did get into an agreement as sorts. And he did get some money as well. Because at that time, Figo thought, okay, this is just nonsense. He's not going to be the president because there was no way because the former president had just won a UCL with them. They were dominating Europe, and for Perez to take over it was going to be a distant dream. And then when Perez won, Figo was in Bernabeu. Who would have ever imagined that? So this guy is a crazy dude when it comes to making such promises and doing such steps.
yeah, absolutely. And the best part about it was how Figo called Real Madrid fans crybabies, and then he
Yeah,
joined those crybabies, and it was not something that the blogger Ana were happy about, and quite a few plastic bottles were brought that day in Barcelona just to
all
be
of the
thrown
big
at him.
heads, even those ones as well. Yeah. I just don't want to
There
go
was just
deep
one
into
big
that.
head, but multiple plastic bottles. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them, and that's what you can get when it comes to being loyal and when you're not loyal at
I
all.
think
Figo,
who would
I
have
really
been
want to know
leading the
Figo's
genocide of
relationship
a
status
big
as well.
head?
You know, how has it been outside football for him? It's going to be pretty interesting to check that, if you know what I mean. But yeah, let's talk about European Super League. You reckon this is a distant dream, or do you reckon it's going to happen? Because 80 teams is a crazy league, man. 80 teams. Now, 80 teams, it's not going to be like 80 teams are going to play in one competition. Definitely, it's going to be divided into different leagues. Like, it's going to be, there's going to be a proper main league. There's going to be like EFL. Then you're going to have like championship models. But the catchword is equal share of remuneration. Is it going to happen at all? Or is it just like, just for the sake of like attracting clubs, equal share of remuneration?
I don't know really. I mean, will Real Madrid or a Barcelona or Manchester City Arsenal even be okay with sharing the pie with the likes of, let's say, the Bournemouth club or Lost
Mhm.
Lille? Will they be happy with it? I mean, will Bayern be happy with the fact that they're not winning 10 trophies a decade?
I
That's
mean,
going to be the
I think
question now.
league structure is going to go on, and they're going to bring this to replace Champions League. So there's no stopping the league structure. So it's going to be very easy to convince the league presidents. For example, you throw some money to Tebas and say your favorite club wants to play in ESL. He's going to be like, "Damn, Madrid, my favorite club. I am going to be supporting them once again." And
Not a very
yeah,
good
that's kind
time
of
to.
a cooler, guys. I'm just being very honest. I just don't like him. I just don't like Tebas. But now Real Madrid and Barcelona doesn't like Tebas because Tebas has spoken against ESL. He says it's ruining football, and now for the first time in history, Perez and Laporta are best buddies. You know that allegation which happened in Barcelona where they try to pay referees, and Atletico decided to like charge an initiation. Atletico really prompted all clubs to charge an initiation against Barcelona, and Real Madrid was the one team who was like, okay, we're not gonna go against Barcelona. They're our brothers.
Yeah, I mean, it's just nice to see the not fans rather, the presidents of Real Madrid and Barcelona coming together and not hurling abuses at each other. So that's a great news, I would say. Somewhere, someplace, Figo would be very happy about it. But
Yeah.
just talking about it, it's going to be interesting to see how the Premier League clubs are going to decide with this because Premier League has got strict regulations against breakaway leagues. I know
Do
it
you
is not
think
an
Premier League
entire
is
breakaway
even
league.
there's even a need of Super League because Premier League is the Super League, bro. Premier
It
League
is.
is
It
the Super
definitely
League which is
is.
happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea is spending so much money that I think at this point in time, Todd Bowley might as well buy La Liga, and he might even profit more.
I mean, we're not far away. Chelsea wants to buy every player. Todd Bowley is like opening Instagram and he's like, "Oh, this player looks cool. Let me buy him." Inquire, my friend. Is he
Yeah,
from
at this point
Ukraine? Is
in
he from
time,
Russia?
the transfer market is more like Tinder for Todd Bowley, where he's right and left
Yeah,
swiping players and then throwing money
absolutely.
at them. So
Yeah,
it's
Tinder
working
premium
perfectly.
version. That's what it is for Todd Bowley at this point, transfer market, and paying like 300 mil. That's just
Yeah.
fine. It's just like a pocket full of little bit of cash for him, and he's gonna be like, I just want this player. Get me Malo Gusto. Get me Mudrik. We're gonna have fun. Roman Abramovich is watching all this, and he's like, man, why don't you sack the manager? That's very interesting as well because if ESL comes into play, Roman also can come back to a certain extent because then it's going to be a completely private owned league. All these oil money merchants across the world is going to be in one league, having fun, like playing all this kind of throwing all the dice out there, splurging cash, and that's going to be the best part, right? Roman Abramovich will come from the back channel and all of a sudden get a team.
Yeah, but you never know. Will Roman Abramovich come back into a team, into a league where the president of the league, I mean, the president of the club who wants to start the league had, what do you say, Ukraine, I mean, had support for Ukraine. And that's the whole reason why Abramovich was kicked out. I really don't know if he'll come back because I think the whole of Europe is only thing that they want from Russia right now is their energy. Aside from that, nothing else. But that's a whole other topic. So I don't know if Abramovich is
Yeah.
coming back. But interestingly enough, though, Infantino is going to be very upset about it, and I think it's going to be a power struggle between the two. So what is UEFA going to offer these clubs except for punishment? I think it's time that UEFA stops and starts offering a little bit of carrot rather than stick.
I think we're heading to that possible structure where Champions League is already going to change the format from 2025. You're going to see a lot more teams in it. It's going to be more like a league kind of structure. So European Super League does not really make any difference if they even come into play, and it's going to be even more exciting. Number one, it's going to be replacing Champions League. Number two, if you're going to have a multi-tier system with equal share of remuneration, like if you're in the top tier league, you're going to get 1 billion. If you're in the second tier, you get 500. If you're in the third tier, you get 300. That's going to really help a lot of these smaller clubs. You tell me which club right now in Europe doesn't want money. Every club is bankrupt, and that's going to be like, damn, let's
Yeah.
go there and get some money and let's play some good football as well. And I think that's going to be more equal. That's going to be more entertaining than what you're going to have if you're going to have relegation system in place and all these kind of stuff in place. And that is the catch point, right? The new proposal uh, of Mr. Perez is much more interesting because of this factor.
Yeah, absolutely. What's also going to be is the fact that tomorrow Lost Lille's purse is going to be as fat as Real Madrid if they make it into the Champions League. Heinrich Frankfurt will be very happy to survive to next year's Champions League or European Super League. They have been doing really well. And Newcastle will be very happy that they arrived at the right perfect time and thanked Florentino Baba for filling their purse
Yeah.
even more than what is already filled.
Now, talking about Fiorentina and Baba, do you reckon this is going to be the most fairest league? Because this guy already know a lot of controversies regarding VAR and European competition with Madrid. Now, now when you have the founding father as the owner of the league, referees are going to be like, pay us the money. We shall give you what you want.
I won't be surprised, Abel, if referees come out in the away kit of Real Madrid just to,
Yeah.
put even more, what do you say, credence behind that theory. It'll be sponsored by Perez Baba. I think each referee will have a Real Madrid logo and Perez on the back. That's how it will work.
Yeah, Perez, Laporte, and let's put the Juventus dude as well. It's gonna look even more fun. Juventus is gonna be like all of a sudden, see guys, you kick us out of the Champions League, we make our own league and play in it. So that's what they're gonna that's what they're gonna go. And Laporte is gonna be like European competitions. We had two bad European competition. Now European Super League. We are the founding fathers. Bring on Manchester United once again. Not bad.
But one thing I am worried though is how is it going to work when it comes to financial fair play? Because it's the clubs who are regulating it. What is to stop the big six, seven,
It's going
10 to
off.
say
It's going off. That's the whole point. There is no financial fair play. There's only financial fair structure of payment to clubs. Now you can spend as much as you want. It's an American
is that
model.
fair though? Is that really fair?
Do you think now what's happening
Because
is fair? It's already happening. It's now going to happen in a more liberal kind of a structure. As you know, capitalism is all it is all about, and it's more going to be more liberalized in terms of
for
your
me,
payment, in
one
terms
thing
of
that
getting
is going to
football.
obviously help would have been the factor that Premier League clubs are private-owned clubs. On the other hand, La Liga, Bundesliga, and even Serie A clubs are fan-owned. That is the
Yeah,
reason why even League are private-owned clubs. That's the reason
yeah,
why all of a sudden Paris and Chelsea have big fat purses, while
mm,
on the other hand, the likes of Real Madrid and Bayern Munich don't have as big purses. But the
yeah,
moment you stopped, I still believe in financial fair play because there needs to be someone who needs to tell them that you can't be Tinder swiping everyone. I
yeah.
feel
Yeah.
that should have been in Premier League as well, but of course, Todd Bowley is going to be Tinder swiping. What I really would like is a financial fair play to continue because otherwise, I think football, as we know, will really change and those 80 teams will become nothing but fodder for the top 10.
See, that's where it's going to be interesting. I think there's going to be a certain amount of financial fair play, but
Yeah.
it's going to be more like the team's also going to have enough money to spend. It's going to be 1 billion, which you're going to get from the league, and you can spend as much as you want. And you see, once you have 1 billion, if that's going to be that, it's like an IPL model, right? Where you're going to be given certain amount of cash and spend that. Maybe equal way to spend for everybody. Maybe not for, maybe at least in the same tire league. Now, in the first league, if every team has 1 billion share, and if you can spend from that, you can do whatever you want or set a 500
Yeah.
million budget or 600 million budget, everybody gets 600 million to spend upon. That's good enough. That's fair enough. And you can, every club gets to spend 600 million in that 20 team league first up. And the second tier league, out of the 500, what they get, 300 million can be used on players. Now, talk about 300 million for a club who's struggling to even have 1 million spent expenditure in a transfer
Yeah.
window. Now, that's going to make a lot of difference. That's why this particular structure, if at all, as they say, there's going to be equal share of remuneration, it's going to create much better fair play than what it is already there.
Yeah, or else what they can come up with, just an addition to what you're saying, is give everyone the same purse and
Yeah,
the same size of purse. It's not that one should have a big lady size bag and someone else has a small wallet for poor gentlemen. I think that's where if you have the same purse, maybe then you have the same competition and you don't actually need financial fair play.
yeah, absolutely. I think with that we can end this particular podcast. It was short, it was sweet. We did take a little bit of jibe on Pevis, and we do respect him. We are big fans of Pevis. He's such a good administrator. He's shown the world where we should be heading to. Um, I am a fan of ESL. What do you reckon, Jaren? Last words. I'm a fan of ESL. I'm totally in for it. I think it should happen anytime.
Yeah, I think Europe being an area where you won't have that much issues with the traveling. I think yeah, why not? At the end of the day, it's the players and the players are going to benefit out of it because at
Yeah.
this point in time, it just seems like the I mean UEFA wants more matches than a loner gamer plays every day in FIFA.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's primarily because I'm a fan of ESL because Manchester City can win something. They're not gonna say like Manchester City got
Nah,
Champions
nah,
Leagues.
that's not gonna happen.
Secondly,
That's not gonna happen.
Barcelona
Talk
are
about
gonna
it is
get
not gonna
are
happen.
gonna get a better position. They're gonna be better position. There's not gonna be like Europa League, Champions League kind of stuff. They can just go and do much better. Maybe not. And Manchester City, even if they get like some kind of sanctions in UEFA Champions League, if that competition doesn't exist, it doesn't even matter, right? So that's the
That
best
is
part about
actual
it.
motive.
That is my main motive, guys. So that is it.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching this podcast. I hope you all enjoyed it. There's something new which you're trying out. So do not forget to share, subscribe to our channel, and also do comment down below what are your thoughts about European Super League. And if you are a fan of it or if you're not, do feel free to share that as well. So having said that, have a good time and enjoy watching Super League very soon. Bye bye.